Hey y'all, Gagana, long time no see. Hey, hey Fur Joan, how are you? Hi Cornbread, Mary, how are you? Thank you, Fur Joan. This is a spring rest. I feel it's nice and cool, and we are very climate control challenged right now. So, well, Cornbread Mary, it's not your fault. Your state is governed by morons. So, thank you, Joan. But it is governed by morons. I just want to say that for the record. So, hey, stay humble. How are you? Hey, Michelle. How are you? Hey, Pearl. Rosie, I made a whole ton of videos today, to be honest, about things that are going on. But let me go ahead and just kind of start this here. So, hey, y'all. This is Tiffocracy, and I am your host, Tiffany Alexis Nyberg. I am a board-certified emergency physician, and I've been in practice for 18 years. I own and operate an urgent care in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I am also openly and proudly transgender. Tonight is going to be a bit different than most lives because we actually have our guest tonight is Chicago Piano's Leanne, and she is a piano virtuoso. And I wanted to put someone a little bit different on tonight, and also talk about things a little bit different because we kind of, I don't know, just wanted to have a different facet for y'all. Plus, she's really good at the piano, so. But I know there's a lot of things going on in the rest of the world, but the truth is I make tons of videos about them. The things I made the videos today about, things like the monkeypox and all that. The thing is all the information that is known about it, I presented in the videos because there's a lot of, there's not a lot of stuff known about that yet. So there's not really enough on there to go for an entire show. Hey, Leanne, welcome. All right, so Leanne, if you'd like, start up a live, and as soon as I seen you show up on the list, I will invite you to join mine, okay? So, and we'll get started. So, yeah, start your own live, Leanne, and you'll see as soon as I see it come up, you'll see an invite, so it won't be more than a minute or so. That allows you also to advertise that it puts it up in a way that you attract your own fans too. And so instead of it just being one crowd, we can combine both our crowds. So. And just so people know, my live on Sunday will be there will be no guest. It'll just be question and answer for me, okay? So thank you, beautifully mindful. So if anyone does have questions and stuff like that, about other stuff, by all means, Sunday show up and I will answer them. So, well, Mafia, there are literally 100 different reasons that can go on. So I don't think I have time to answer that one in full. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, creatinine. Well, I got to do something there. So Bella, I don't want to try to answer things like that because if that's the kind, like while I'm waiting to go live, have somebody join me on my live, because those kind of things take time and they shouldn't be rushed through, okay? All that can come from me trying to rush through it is give you bad information, so, and I don't want to do that. That's not fair. Huh. Rosy disposition, aliens. Well, I mean, honestly, with the past couple of years, I can't possibly think it. It wouldn't surprise me because what could possibly be surprising in the 2020s? So, all right, there she is.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
how are you? It
Pretty
is
good.
nice to see you, Dr. Tiffany.
Likewise, it's nice to meet you in person. So,
You as well.
but hopefully it wasn't too hard to get this going or anything on your end.
No, it was okay. It was okay.
I do it this way because it winds up well if you do a lot of lives,
Hmm.
you'll notice that when you bring guests on of it, whether you do it co-host or you do it with the little box, people
Right.
always it always your there's your room's population will drop to a level that is generally pretty standard. But if you
Right.
have both rooms, if you have only people in the box, they don't get to bring their own crowds.
Right. Yeah, I go live almost every day on here.
Yeah, so I mean, I always invite people to do the co-host thing because that allows you to bring your own crowds and to do things like it. If your crowds give you gifts and stuff like that, to get that rather, the person
Right.
who is hosting, if the no matter how many people are in the boxes, the person who's hosting generally gets all the gifts when it's
Right.
where they're the guest thing. I don't like. I mean, that to me is it's kind of screwing the guests, and I'm
Yeah.
not really cool with that.
Yeah.
So. But if you need any mods or anything, let me know. I can send somebody over if you need any. So someone here who goes in your lives all the time apparently
Yeah.
is
My
yeah.
moderators, I'm full on the moderators. I think they give you the limit of 40, and I'm maxed out on moderators. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've been maxed out for months. I mean, for
I
years.
know, I know. It's been like half a year, and we're maxed out. So
Every once in a while, I come across some creator that doesn't use mods, and I just think it's like, how the fuck do
I
you
know. How do you do
survive?
that? You get. I mean, with the type of following that we have, there's constant. I mean, it's constant. You have to sift through all the bad stuff. So you have to have moderators.
Yes, I mean, otherwise you just get eaten up by trolls. So,
Right. Right.
but so tell us a little bit about yourself, for because my audience most probably have not seen your stuff before.
Sure. Sure. And
So,
probably the likewise. My name is Leanne. I am transgender, openly transgender. I've been on my road of transitioning for about 10 years, I would say. Um, Last 3 years medically. I run and operate and own a small business. Just like you had said in the introduction, I play the piano, so our business is pretty much around pianos. We're a fine furniture and interior design firm, but really heavily focused on pianos.
awesome.
I love doing the TikTok live streaming, Facebook live streaming, all of the social media, avidly involved in music and live streaming. It's just been a part of my life forever. I'm glad to be on live stream with you.
I'm glad you're on here with me. Actually, it was actually my girlfriend actually introduced me to your page, and I just
Yeah.
thought to myself, wow, she can freaking play, you know. So, which I don't know. I have a lot of. I mean, I have guests on probably uh, half to two-thirds of my lives, and usually they're either going to be
Uh-huh.
science creators or you know, or people fighting in like trans rights and
Oh,
LGBT
sure.
rights or women's rights. So, but
Hmm.
sometimes I like to have people on just because they have, well, sometimes you need things like beauty and stuff, and things like music and things like that, and
Right.
because it's stuff like that that kind of makes life worth living.
Sure,
So,
for
yeah,
sure.
there are plenty of battles to fight, but that's not that doesn't make life worth living. That's just that's just something that needs to be done. But
Right.
things like appreciating beautiful music and and stuff like that. That's the kind of thing that keeps you going in the bad times.
That's for sure.
So, obviously you're very talented on the piano. Tell me a little bit about how long you've been doing that for.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. That's very kind. I've been playing for a little over 20 years. Um, I took on to it very, very kindly. I had begged my parents as a young child to play the piano, and pianos are investments, and so are lessons. So they were like, I don't know about that, And after a couple of years of really showing diligence in music, I had, uh, really began seriously. I went to a conservatory of music and studied. Um, I like learning. I like studying. So I have a lot of education in a lot of different things. Just because I like being well-rounded. What's the phrase? They say. What the phrase is the one where you're like you could do a little bit of everything, but you're not good at any of it. You're just like
Jack of all
I don't
trades.
know what the phrase is.
Jack of all trades, master of none. That could describe, young
Yeah,
Mark
but
too. But
there's an actual ending to that phrase that's seldom said. I don't remember what it is.
uh,
I don't remember. But
but
and for my viewers who are watching this, because I see a lot of commentaries coming in here from some of my regular
yeah,
crowd, share about you.
okay,
That would be wonderful for
yeah, sure.
my viewership.
Well, my name's Tiffany Alexis Nyberg. I'm actually a practicing physician, board certified in emergency medicine. Been at it about a little over 18 years. Um, and I kind of own and operate an urgent care in Shreveport, Louisiana. And I'm also open and proudly and openly trans. Um, and I also am very active in things like trans rights and LGBT rights and women's rights and stuff like that. And also I'm also an entrepreneur. So,
Right.
but and I have a knack for talking a lot and for causing the good kind of trouble mostly.
Hey, you have an incredible site. I looked at a lot of your stuff, just really incredible media. Very well versed.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no,
Of
the I
course.
have. I'm not going to claim credit for designing my website. That's actually, a couple of my mods actually did that for me.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna. I'm not the. I'm not a tech savvy person. I just know how to use the tech once other people make it work.
And I
You know.
saw I saw you had a commercial. Did that commercial air? That was really
Yeah,
lovely, lovely done commercial.
Yeah, that was my first actually professionally done commercial.
That's
So,
fantastic.
but and yeah, I mean, I do some segments on the news now and then too, because
Wow.
the whole pandemic, COVID thing that I do hasn't gone unnoticed, and also the
Right.
gender affirming care. I'm one of the very few people that do that in Louisiana. So
Right, right. I was going to say a lot of it has to do with your demographics in the area, and it seems like you're providing that area with the aid it needs.
but yeah, so I get I do actually. It seems to average about once a month. I wind up having some TV thing or other, which
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I
See,
actually
I've considered doing a commercial for my business, the public, whatever you call it, access television. I just don't know if it's for my business worth it. We're so small, but I've considered putting a commercial out there and airing it.
well, it did. The such things do make a big difference in the amount of business you get, but you have to actually. I don't know. You also have to hit your target audience too,
Right.
because if you're trying to, you know, do things with pianos and you hit the demographic of elderly dudes, you're probably not going to really get much business out of that. So,
Sure, sure. It's all about demographics, all of that, the target SEO stuff.
so yeah, and I don't know. I don't know enough about that as far as on the online stuff, how to maximize those things. That's what other people do.
Right.
So, um, so I just know how to talk in fairly apparently interesting ways.
Well,
So,
sure. Yeah.
but um, yeah. How long have you been on TikTok?
Oh, probably, I think a little over a year.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm coming up on my 1 year too. So,
Yeah. I think it's so like when I had started Facebook, my whole entire Facebook kind of just came out of the blue. I did a live video on there and I thought, well, why not? I was trained in opera. I tried, well, why not sing something? And I sang something and there were 7,000 viewers. I'm like, what the heck? And then I just
um,
kind of continued. Uh, and it went pretty successful on Facebook. And then someone said, you do well on TikTok. And I said, what? What's TikTok? And it took me, oh gosh, I've been doing media for a couple of years. It took me a long time to say yes to doing TikTok. But then I joined TikTok, and my following is actually growing a lot lately. I mean, I think I've had like 26 or 27,000 new followers in the last like 15 days or something. It's a lot.
oh wow.
Yeah, but I've been live streaming a lot and doing a lot more content. But it's always I don't know. It's sometimes it's a luck of the draw. I don't know. Just like whenever you do a live video, there could be a bunch of nuts in the crowd, or there could be a lot of great people. You've done those before where there's like a really lovely room of people, and other ones where there's like, whoa, who are these people? You know.
Yeah. Sometimes you just wonder. It's like some flood of just absolute jackasses rolls in, and you're just
I
like,
know. I
what's the
know.
deal with it? My God, did the sewer flood and force you all out? But
Right
you
off
know,
the sewer, yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, and then other days it's everyone loves it. It's a love fest, and those are nice.
Yeah.
'Cause, I hate fighting with people on these things. It's just
Oh, I know. It's insufferable.
and
And
eventually, I don't know about you, but I mean, I get I tend to have a rather sharp tongue when I decide to cut into somebody. So
yeah.
you know, which means that when I'll after the first 1,000 or so, get their insults in, and I finally say something sharp back, 30 seconds later, that freaking white screen comes up, saying,
Yeah. You've been blocked for what do they say? Going against community guidelines. You're saying hate speech. I
yeah,
think
hate
that's
speech,
just
or yes,
I
hate
know.
speech, bullying and harassment, and my
Yeah.
favorite when talking about COVID, misinformation.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's just nuts. They send that after they're the ones who are like humiliating and saying these horrible things. It's so funny. What a
Yeah, once I got banned for misinformation 3 minutes in while I was saying my name.
hmm
You
Yeah,
know,
I
so
got
how could I
banned on.
possibly have? That one got upheld too. You know,
Yeah,
like, is
I
how can I?
I have I
How
have
can I
obviously
possibly have?
appealed all of them. All of those I appeal and they accept. And I was like 5 minutes in, like you said, I was 5 minutes in, and I was 5 minutes in, and we were playing hymns on the piano, and someone reported it as false information, and TikTok accepted it. I'm like, what in God's green earth is false information about playing the piano? I'm like, that's just so weird. People are odd. It really is.
Yeah, well, they do kind of target LGBT creators. So I mean,
Oh,
that's
for
not
sure.
you
For
know,
sure.
but you know, there's actually that's no secret. But you know, that's fucked up though. They banned you for misinformation while playing the
I
piano.
know. I, You know what? Leave it to the trolls. They'll do anything. You anything. Like I said before on TikTok live streams, it's not just trans people. It's not gay people. I mean, no matter who in the hell you are, there's always going to be something in a troll um community, like these constant, recurring trolls who will say things, like there's actually a big one with middle-aged people. They'll be trolling middle-aged people or elderly people. They'll be trolling, high school kids saying go back to school. I mean, it's no matter who the hell you are.
Yeah, they just they'll find any something about everybody. It's just what they do.
I know, and God help us. you
Yeah,
know,
but they're doing that from their parents' basement while
sure,
eating
sure.
ramen noodles and probably looking forward to. Well, I'm not going to get into that, but
Well, I could give you my stories about the messages. There'll be people, I'm sure you get this too. There'll be people in the live stream that say, I mean, just the most vile things. And then they add you on your media, and then they send an unsolicited pic. It's
yeah,
just like, what am I supposed to do with that? You were degrading me on live stream, and now you're showing me this, horrible thing. What am I supposed to do? Say, oh, that's the best one I've ever seen. Get the heck out of here. It's nutty. Pun intended.
I had one last month that got their way into my. Got me to accept their friend request, and then on Messenger they changed their avatar pic to the unsolicited pic. I was like, Jesus Christ!
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I
So
don't even check my inbox filter because, like, the last time I did, there was like hundreds and hundreds. I mean, I probably get like 100 of those gross pics a day. It's nasty.
yeah, I don't.
I don't
Now
check it anymore.
I improved that one. That one was an anomaly. I'm usually able to screen most of them out,
Right.
but
Well, my Facebook now is a public figure account. So it's changed, so I actually have admins and stuff, so that's good.
oh,
I
how'd you
guess
do
it's
that?
it automatically switched, I guess. I don't know, maybe it's they noticed my TikTok following. My Facebook following is like 19,000 something. Um it was more, but I don't know. I think they
No,
must do
I,
it when
I
they
don't have
see your.
Facebook. I have like maybe 2,500 over there. That's not my.
Yeah, I think it
That's
must be
not a
something where
platform
they like,
I'm
because
on.
I had like at the height of my following on Facebook, I think it was like 30 something. I don't know, but it's when that happens. I think the way they do those public figure pages and all that stuff has to do with if they notice you are quasi known on multiple platforms. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was.
Okay, so what's your strategy when dealing with the online negativity and all that?
Mine usually is, well, I have multiple strategies. I usually block out about 95% of it because usually all it does is kind of feed upon itself. It's cyclical. So if someone says, you're ugly, and you say no or whatever, there's always going to be a retort. There's going to be a response, and there's going to be a snowballing effect, whether or not it's from the person who's an aggressor or your followers who want to support you and say these things. And then it just is a recipe for disaster. So 95% of the time, I just let it slide. Um, a couple percent of the time, I'll just make a quick offhand witted funny comment that has to do with what we're doing. Something lighthearted and witty. And maybe less than 1% of the time, I'll actually have a response that is in a serious tone to actually kind of lay down the law of, hey, that was really not appropriate. Let's discuss this. Um, and I usually am not, even when I get into that 1% realm, I'm usually not aggressive. I'm usually more on the realm of trying to be enlightening. Because I feel like the more people, not only trans people, but people in the entire community, the LGBTQ plus community, and everybody who leads a perceived different life, the the more you respond with either a simple, more positive response or an enlightening, more calm response, there's less room for people to spew hatred or negativity. One of the big things that I firmly believe in is kind of the credo, the mantra, if you will, in regards to my transition personally, is there's always going to be people who you know and who will meet you, and whether or not they're friends, coworkers, whatever it is, even people who are just first time you meet them, they're going to say something wrong, they're going to mess up. There's always going to be slips. Sometimes it's malicious, sometimes it's not. But the more we focus on separation, right, of like these saying, oh, this is a trans issue, I think many times people who are obstinate against the perspective of hearing out transgender people will often have an anger or some animosity when it's handled in a way that shows difference, acceptance. My mantra is really about inviting people in, keeping a warm environment, a comforting environment for even people who might not be comfortable with the concept of transgender people. They might not even understand it. They might, there's so much out there that people are unaware of. And just a little bit of positivity and enlightenment or a slight little joke or something, even a flippant little, maybe like little jab back as opposed to flying off the handle like some people do, is it's miles ahead in my perspective, to really kind of maintaining and upholding the plight of transgender people, because we don't want to be seen differently, we don't want to be accepted differently. It's about being human, the same, um, human morality, human understanding, human acceptance. It's all right off of just the basic the basic needs that we all, I think, undoubtedly deserve.
Well, that's actually a very nice, very kind, perspective, and that's probably is helping out a good bit. So, yeah, I'll be honest. If somebody comes in and starts, saying nasty stuff, they these days they just get blocked on
Yeah,
mine. Um,
yeah,
I don't have. I'm not gonna. Somebody who's spewing actual insults to me, I'm not gonna bother talking to them.
sure,
If other people don't want to, they're polite. You don't have to see my point of view. You just have to be polite. You
sure.
know, but you know, um, I just I
See,
used
I
to
always
engage
appreciate
more
when
with the
people,
trolls, and I really realized that the less I engage with them, and the more I actually let my mod just block them,
right?
you know, the less I tend to get banned.
Yeah, that's a huge ticket, really, in that regard. Is really the less I've noticed that the more the following I have and the more moderators and all of that stuff, and the less I say, the more moderators just take care of stuff and the trash gets taken out.
Yeah,
And it's just a much more, it's just better for the integrity of the content that we create. There's so many content creators regardless of your background, regardless of your presentation and identity, that are targeted for specific reasons. Obviously the trans community is heavily targeted, um, but regardless, I mean, I even see stuff
yeah,
on
I get
YouTube.
targeted too about insisting on evidence-based medicine and stuff, and
Sure.
like actually the thing I'm the harshest at, besides hate speech, which is duh, is when people come in and they'll try to spread medical misinformation.
Right, right. Yeah,
So
I feel like my version of that, which is that's obviously right in your territory. My version of that is when people come in and doubt and have a disbelief in my faith for God, and they completely will just, I mean, throw away uh, all of my integrity and faith and not have any understanding or any room for understanding just because of presentation. Like if I was just to, like place the camera here, right? And then be playing the piano, play some hymns, and nobody saw who was doing it, they would say, "Oh, that's pretty good piano playing. We really like that. It's nice, relaxing hymns." And then you show myself, and then it's, "Oh, we're going to condemn you. You're, the spawn of the devil." It's like there's no way you could be a religious person and lead the life of a transgender person, and that is undoubtedly
yeah.
incorrect. It's
Yeah,
incorrect.
people assume that just because somebody's trans that they can't be religious because it's impossible. Now, I don't generally in my show I won't get into religion much because, in all honesty, I that's one battle that I don't have the energy to fight. So,
Right.
and to be honest, it's none of their effing business what I believe in. But
Sure.
the I'll get similar to what I mean. Look, I'm you know I trained at one of the best residency programs in the world for my specialty, and I did a
Hmm.
fellowship in EMS and disaster management too.
Right.
I did like 13 years of training to get where
Wow.
I'm at. And I'll be saying something like that. Saying something about some important medical stuff or complex medical stuff, trying to spread words so that people don't get sick and die. And
Right.
these dildos, they come on and they just go, oh look, it's a man, so blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And they literally, you're going to hell. No, I'm trying to help people. Okay.
Right. Right.
I'm trying to actually do this because I care about what happens to other people, unlike you.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
and but yeah, they don't care. They just
Well,
want to
and I'm sure
hurt.
you get this, is that you operate and run a business. You're incredibly, incredibly qualified. You have significant credentials. a very long track record and history of success and helping others, and you still do TikTok live streaming, you still do uploading on TikTok. And I mean, I'm 28, and I wouldn't say I'm successful or anything like that by any means, but I do have some credentials and some education and all that, and I own and operate a business. But it's crazy because there's so many comments that will come in saying, "You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Is this all you do? Do you just sit your fat ass on the internet?" And it's so
Yeah,
crazy because I
they'll
just
question.
see.
Yeah, they'll question me to even be a doctor or something like that.
I
Um,
know.
but they, the thing is, and you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is that they just, it's. I think possibly they do. A lot of them just come in just to troll, and they're just, I used to let it get me more angry, but they all say the same thing, and when I'm
It's
not
all
talking about
calculated.
COVID
It's a
stuff, when I'm talking about
calculated.
trans rights
Mhm.
stuff, they'll say that, but they can't believe that somebody that could be trans and be and actually an accomplished physician.
Right.
They can't believe that we can actually have enough
Right.
intelligence
How is it
to do that. Yeah.
incomprehensible to for someone who is transgender to be an accomplished physician? I it's that's part of what I always talk about on live streams when we get into our Q&As is just how there's so many people in the trans community and the LGBTQ plus community who lead lives that it's the same gamut. There are going to be people in the trans community who are very wealthy, very successful. There are going to be people who are incredibly educated and highly renowned. There are going to be people who have serious issues
and
with addiction, drug problems.
and,
It's every single person you meet, no matter which let's
and
because of societal norms and standards category they fit into, every category and subcategory and sect of people has that gamut of people in success, people in poverty, people with education, people with not much education, people with uh moral aptitude, people who don't know shit. It is not it's not a trans thing, but the
no,
thing is how people are
but
is when people see differences, they will grasp onto that like crazy. And that's when they see a difference in somebody, they will utilize it to the full extent in which they find capable to project and displace hatred, negativity, even own self inner reflection. And they deflect it onto people who they perceive as more vulnerable. And just like you had said, as the more and more you're doing the TikTok and the live streaming, the more all that bullshit goes right down the toilet, just
yeah.
like it does,
And then
because there's just so
some
much of it. It
there's also
becomes
some others
vapid.
who. No, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
No, there's also some others too who question. Well, if you're a blank, in my case, if you're not a real doctor, real doctors wouldn't be on TikTok. And I'll be honest with you, that's my favorite misconception there, because see, the thing
Right.
is, the reason at least in medicine is so effed up right now as far as people trusting doctors, because doctors aren't on TikTok.
Right. Right. I feel like, in
We're
fact,
not
I
on,
actually,
we notoriously do a terrible job of being on platforms that people actually listen to. And we do a notoriously shitty job of not of failing to speak English, instead of robot doctor speak when we're actually on a platform. So I am
right.
trying to not do that.
I have, I just have such a great a great uh, matter of respect for the doctors such as yourself who are on these platforms, because I
Right.
just going again, not, I mean, just look at being a doctor itself, not
Well,
being trans or anything, just being a doctor, it's by itself. And when you are able to make yourself more relatable to the perception of others, the more you will inevitably receive understanding. It might
well,
not be
also
acceptance,
during
but it might be understanding. And that's
during the
why
Delta.
I just love seeing when there's professionals on TikTok showing their profession, explaining their profession in layman's terms or whatever it might be. And that's like someone actually just commented on here that you're way ahead of the curve. And God bless you. You
Well,
truly are. It's a
during
testament to your integrity.
during the Omicron wave and the Delta wave, I know that I talked probably about, I don't know, probably 2 to 4,000 people into getting the vaccine. And these are all vaccine hesitant people at this point.
Right.
And the thing is doctors and clinics, and doing it through conventional means had said, there are 100 doctors, would have said 100 times the words and stuff that I did and gotten 1/10 the success because you know what, they were on doing it in journals and stuff like that and on their personal blog or something like that or Facebook or something like that instead of
Right.
going to where people would hear your message that needed to hear it.
Right.
So, and no one else really that I know can actually say they did that.
Yeah.
And besides docs and nurses are actually on TikTok that also figured it out too. But there's not enough of us. So,
Right.
yeah. And by the way, to everybody in the audience that keeps asking the monkeypox questions, I put out 4 videos in the last 2 days about it. That would answer everything. Just kind of putting that out there, okay? So, because I'm not going to stop talking to my guest, y'all. Please, that's rude. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think we probably have different comments going on because there's different viewers, it's all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. But I'm seeing a lot of comments here. I just for a second I must say, um, so sorry to all my viewers who are watching right now. We very seldom do live streaming with other people. And when we're doing a live stream with other people, my attention to comments will not be like it is when we're one on one. So just that's just how it is. So don't think I'm ignoring you or trying to be rude.
Yeah. I most the people who are frequent to my room know that because I do have guests on a lot, and
Right.
I've had a lot of I've had guests. I think the last 4 lives I've done. So but still, I do. The whole that whole monkeypox thing kind of blew up out of nowhere, and the videos I made on them kind of got a lot of views. So I kind of but the thing is there's so little information known about it right now besides stuff that you can just read off of Wikipedia about it, that I
Right.
really all the information that the world knows I put in my videos today and yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but
You have a lot of education and studies in infectious diseases and all of that sort of stuff. You seem very heavily focused on the COVID-19. Obviously, a very, very hot topic for years at this point.
yeah, I mean, I just I know how to find out information about
Yeah,
health things. I just before anyone, a lot of times anyone else really sees it
sure.
because I just have a system that
Right.
I use that just finds me these stories before the mainstream news picks them up, sometimes by weeks. So and
Right.
which is which is kind of neat, but to be able to do that. But
Mhm.
Now, I am going to have to ask you a question. You wouldn't
Feel
mind
free.
playing something, would you?
I'm sorry.
You wouldn't mind playing a song for someone, would you?
Oh, what? What? I could play something.
Would
Sure.
that be?
We'll play on the. We'll play on the best piano I have here.
It would.
Give me a moment. Let me set this up. I have to move this over. Just give me a moment. And we'll see what we'll play. Is there something in particular? Ah.
I was hoping it would mean a lot to somebody special if you were to play Nocturne in B flat by Chopin.
Oh, I don't really play the classical stuff much. Let me try and play something. I'm actually going to play something that I think a lot of people generally like. Would you like to see the hands play from a hand view? How would you like to see it?
Um.
Like that?
Uh. Maybe back it up a little bit so we can see your face and hands. Just so, yeah, like
Like
that. Yeah.
that?
Uh huh.
Okay, I think we'll play. We're going to play Somewhere Over the Rainbow. We'll try that.
That was
Thank
beautiful.
you, everybody.
That was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Gonna move the camera here. I'm gonna walk, take a seat down here.
You were definitely a hit on my side, okay?
What did you say?
I said you were definitely a hit on my side.
Oh, fantastic! I'm glad. Thank you.
There are a whole bunch of really nice things being said. And there's like 90 people over here, and they're all saying nice things.
Oh, that's so sweet. We have 123 over here. Professional musician? No. I own a business of pianos and all that stuff. I guess. I mean, I was trained professionally in music, so I guess that's. I just had a comment come through on that.
You must have started the music thing fairly young, I'd imagine, huh?
Oh yeah, age 8 or so.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would love to be able to make music of some type, but I can't. I have no musical talent whatsoever. I, um, you know, and my singing voice has been likened to the wailing of damned souls. So, and I've got no rhythm, and I just don't have the ability to. I can appreciate music, but I cannot play any music. So which does make it nicer that, and it makes it almost like magic when somebody can do that. Because
See, it'd be the same thing if I was a doctor. I would have a very, 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 very low success rate with my patients. I don't know anything about the medical field. I'd suffer so bad.
well, yeah, I mean, but I mean the doctor things, a lot of it's book learning, which is it's just memorizing stuff. But you know, being able to actually make music, especially music like that, that takes something that you're either born with it or you're not. So
Sure.
you have that you either have that capability or you do not, and I don't have that capability. So I tried when I was a kid. I tried to play various instruments for years, and no, I that was hard.
See, we all have stuff that we're gifted and we give and we bless others. And I just seeing all you do for the community is such a, as somebody who is, of faith, it just makes me feel so great to see you blessing other people with your gift and your calling and your talents. And it's, it's just how I always believe is what we're called to do. What we're gifted, we give unto others, and it's
No, I
it's
mean, it's like I know
wonderful.
I got things I do good. It's just
Yeah.
not music. And I can't draw or do any other form of art either. I mean, the closest I can get is I could decorate, and I've got a good eye for fashion. So, but
Hmm.
that's about it.
But what you do, for people in regards to education, with transgender related topics, with the medical field, with your expertise being a physician, with your clinic. I mean, there's so much that you do. It's just a myriad, a bountiful blessing you give other people. It's wonderful.
Well, I mean, that's the gift that I can actually do, and I can deal with, I can figure things out, and I'm also pretty good at dealing with people. So, and making them
Right.
feel safe and that things are going to be okay.
You definitely have got to be. I think anybody who's in the public eye has got to be able to deal with people. You know.
Well, it depends. Some people get on for get famous for reasons that and I am not famous, but some people get known for things that aren't people skills.
Sure.
Like I guess like a race car driver.
Right.
I mean
Right.
that person could be a total jerk as long as they're good at driving a race car.
Well,
That's
I
what
mean,
they.
think of the people you see on the television, right? I mean, oh my gosh, I'm even thinking about the high controversial Johnny Depp and Heard uh, case, and it is
Otherwise
just
known as 2022's biggest dumpster fire.
it's the dumpster fire of the year. Oh my gosh, it is just nutty, you know. But by gosh, by golly, it's unraveling quick as a ball of yarn going down Mount Everest. I'll tell you, it's oh crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that some of those things that I don't know. There's some I could have gone the rest of my life without learning that stuff.
Sure, it's but you know what? I actually feel like some of the things that have been brought to light by means of celebrity status being portrayed in the public eye, I usually shy away from viewing that stuff because I pride myself in being somebody who's just there. I'm real, I'm candid, I'm open. You seem exactly the same way. We gel quite well. But so many people, in these high numbers of, celebrity status and fame and being well known, it is there. What are you supposed to do? I mean, you don't see the truth. And I really felt for the first time I clicked on the YouTube suggested Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, and I clicked on it, and I was just so pulled in because it actually sheds light on a serious uh, uh, battle and tribulation that many people undergo. Is false accusations, defamation, whether or not you're somebody of wealth or status or whatever it is, regardless of your position in life, it is just so crazy what people can do. And I thought that the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard uh, case here has brought so much light to many topics. People who truly are experiencing abuse and misconduct and all of those sorts of horrible things to endure, right? But truly experiencing that. But also people who are false accusers. And, people who experience defamation from the low end, from the high end. Um, Nobody is exempt from being abused or being an abuser or the aggressor or being the one who is preyed upon. It's not a woman thing. It's not a man thing. It's not a trans thing. People are people, regardless of who in the Sam Hill you are. No matter who you are on the entire gamut of this world, whatever we have, 7.7 billion people on God's green earth, there are a handful of real shitty people. And no matter what sect and category you break it down to, there's gonna be some shitty white people, there's gonna be some shitty gay people, there's gonna be some shitty trans people, and there's gonna be shitty shit, the shit fest. That's it. That's how it boils down to. That's what my perspective is, So that's why I truly actually took on to this case and really actually found it to be enthralling. And it really brought me in when normally when I see stuff on the public media, like people of celebrity status, I'm like, I really don't give a shit if Kim Kardashian ate her first non-wagyu beef steak. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't give two shits and a stick. What do you want, a freaking award? But I'm just saying stuff that actually holds significant integrity and that causes a detriment to people in the society being brought to the forefront, the spotlight. If by means of being somebody who is of celebrity status and being shown worldwide, God bless it. Thanks be to God for it being spread upon for people to understand and learn and see. There's so many people and who just really think of the traditional perspective of things and think, gosh, there's no way that the woman could be the aggressor or the accuser, or sorry, the aggressor or the instigator or the person at fault. There's no matter which way you go, there's always going to be those sorts of things. And thanks be to the good Lord above, that is publicized because I think it sheds light on the true struggle and tribulation that many people have to battle. And seeing, light shed on that, I think is actually bringing on a new wave of understanding for people entirely.
That's an interesting way to look at it. To be honest, I never thought of it that way. I just saw two dumpster fires battling it out, and
Sure, but I mean,
some sort of
regardless,
like some kind of celebrity, fallen celebrity monster. Like what do they call those movies? The Japanese monster movies. Like battling it out. And just
uh,
trashing everything in the process. And so I really haven't watched but maybe about 10 minutes of that whole thing. But I know that I'll get recaps when I'm curious, though, from my girlfriend because she says she follows that pretty good, and so
Sure.
I just I rely on my personal news source on it.
Right. And that's actually, to bring up about the news is I actually seldom watch the news. I seldom read the news, but when there's something that's such a huge thing to be really looked into in regards to uh, really the advancement of societal perspective and understanding, I will grasp onto it like crazy, and it's so incredible what the gift and grace of the social media has given us. We talk about haters and trolls and people acting a fool, but there's so much more far beyond that we're able to reach people worldwide regardless of who you are. An artist who paints, doing a live stream, bringing ASMR to people, someone, preaching the word of God, someone, expressing, the detriments and the battles of the COVID crisis and the pandemic and how to be weary of that, what to watch out for, how to handle it. There's so much on media that actually brings us together. And I think, as humans, we so often focus on the negative and the bad. There could be 100 positive things that happen, and one kind of turd that goes on, and we'll go straight and latch onto that turd. It's very much a human thing to do, but there's so much that we
Yes,
have
the
been
floater in the
graced
bowl
with.
always gets the attention. So,
I
but
know. Yeah.
but yeah, it's you know, I don't know. It is kind of neat though that people like yourself or me can actually find audiences and platforms now with the internet with online. um, there's more room for people who don't necessarily fit every single conventional checkbox, to be
Sure.
able to succeed. And once you reach a certain point, you can become successful to the mainstream too. This way, because you can enter it with momentum, which is something people never could do
Right.
before. So it still trips me out that there's actually people on every continent that know who Dr. Tiff is. That just trips me out.
I know.
That's something that I never would have thought could have been possible in younger years. See, I'm like you. I'm old as fuck. So, and I grew up before the internet existed, which was really scary. Like,
Well, we had
I remember when it was new in college.
right. Yeah, we
And
had we had grown up with not much of the media or the internet. I would call it the what every generation says is the right time to grow up because until we were our teens, it was go out, play outside. It's summer. Don't be in the house. Don't be messing around. Go do stuff. Ride a bike. Go take a hike. Go do something. Do stuff outside. And I just thought I think that's such a great upbringing to have. To be able to do that, and then of course, in my age group, uh, then age 15, 16, then you got all the media, and the Facebook was a big deal. Uh, I remember that, when Facebook really was a huge topic. But it's a blessing and it's a curse at the same time, both alike.
were you on MySpace?
No, I was never on MySpace, but I've heard that MySpace is actually kind of a thing again or something.
Really?
I don't know.
I think that's so
Why?
good. Okay. Well, if it helps them sleep at night, I guess.
Whatever makes you sleep at night. I know. I know.
So, but yeah, I liked growing up without, you know what? Honestly, a little. Well, the this is great for say someone like you know in our positions. You know, I'm not sure that it's the best thing for 9-year-olds to be doing because you know what? I really did have a lot of fun actually knowing outside and all that. So
Right. There's so much more to understand and experience when you're growing up a childhood. Not that I'm saying that people and children who are, 14 shouldn't have media access, but you're 10 and younger, grow up with, the toys, grow up with building the blocks, grow up with, coloring in the books, a real coloring book, not the iPad. Have a real, a real child upbringing, go play in the dirt. There's nothing wrong with tossing around dirt. There's nothing wrong, you know what I mean? I
yeah.
I uh I just feel like there's so much of um
Well, I think it helps grow your imagination too as a kid. If
exactly, and
you don't
it
have
gives you a
everything like
sense
in
of
you know and everything possible in 3D, like you know how you know with infinite possibilities, you know, we have to imagine that stuff, you know.
right, and that is part of the detriment that's going on with the expansion of media and the accessibility of things, right? It is kind of that's one of those things where it's an ebb and flow of the good and the bad. But I just really, if I've said this before and I'll say it again till I'm blue in the face on live stream, is that I really really just think that children at such young ages should have the upbringing where you have, like you said, that chance to learn right and wrong, to that chance to have that perspective of a proper moral upbringing and moral perspective, and a lot of that has to do with true social engagement, active, true, in person. You shake somebody's hand. How many people know how to shake someone's hand properly? And there's so much of that I guess I could equate to my very conservative upbringing. And I still hold a lot of those values myself. Um, I would say pretty old school values. I was brought up that way. But I'm obviously pretty progressive in many mindsets, but I do hold a lot of those values because I think it's just such an imperative thing for especially children and adolescents and for the coming generations to understand the concept of respect and the concept of work and diligence and perseverance. All of those things are things that I could see by your hard work and your fortitude and strength and what you've accomplished and achieved. That's what you've that's how you grew up. That's how you've gone through everything. It's the likewise on my end. I think it does a disservice for young folks when things are just, poof, it's done. You don't even know how the loaf of bread got on the counter. You know what I mean?
The bread fairy brought it. I put the wrapper of the old
Yes,
loaf
the
underneath the
bread
pillow, and
theory.
this came. Um, but yeah, I just I don't know. I guess though probably they say this. You know, they'll say the same things when they grow up, and that you know they'll wonder how the hell people even lived functional lives back then, and they'll figure out someday
Right,
doing it. And I don't know.
right. Well, no matter any generation, I what I'd love to do is take 200 years. It's impossible, but take 200 years and take all, some people from each generation, have them all in a room and be able to converse and have an intellectual, constructive conversation about what's going on in your time and how you perceive what's going on now and the future. I think that would, if that was something that was feasible, just think of the progress that could happen for people. I think, like I had said earlier on, I blab so much. You should just tell me to shut up if you want me to shut up. But it's about having these common grounds. When people are able to relate and have common grounds and be able to feel similarities rather than differences. See, I always talk about celebrating differences, which I think differences should be, but also when you're able to share commonalities and common grounds and these things that we all intrinsically, inherently have as beings on Earth, it creates it kind of uh, takes away some of the difference that people see and might have negativity or hatred or some bias to say. You know what I mean? There's just so much to that people will latch on to when people constantly are spreading um, about differences, because sometimes we fear what we don't know and we don't understand. And if we're able to see that there's not much that's different, then maybe we're able to say, hey, you know what? I don't really necessarily get people who are transgender. I don't really get it, but I'm not, hey, I think a little bit different. I don't think you're a sack of shit like I said you were. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, what's funny is as soon as you said that, you know, a couple of trolls walked in. They're gone now, but because my mods are fire, but
right.
ironic. So I am getting a lot of requests for one last thing on the piano, or one more thing possibly. What do you
A
mean?
specific thing?
No, just a song. So
Oh, song. Do they want something? Why not something I wrote?
well, if you've got something original, yeah, by all means.
Oh, sure. I'll
I'd love to
play an
hear that.
original. This is my song that's most well known on TikTok, and well, actually, in general, that I've written. This one I wrote 12 years ago or so. It's called Time Tells. It's actually just the story of my life. I often say when people listen to it, just kind of close your eyes and just feel. So here it is. Here we'll go with that. Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's awesome. I can't. That is. That takes a ton of talent to do that. So much respect.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one that's people like, I guess. It's always surprising because I write a lot of music, and there's some stuff that I think, oh my gosh, people will like this, and it ends up being a dud. you know.
Yeah, I guess I have ideas that go that way too. I've yeah, there's been a few things like video series and stuff that I try to start, and they, you know, well, when I watch them a few months later, yeah, maybe they weren't the best idea, but
Yeah.
they seemed like great ideas at the time. But no, that's actually
Yeah.
really beautiful what you just played. That's
Well,
doesn't matter
thank you.
who you are,
Thank you.
even if you don't know anything about music, like Tiffany. Um, that's beautiful,
Thank
and
you so
just
much.
there's something about the about piano playing that's actually like calming. So, which some types of music, are have different energies, and that actually, I
Right.
don't know, it's hard to stay in a tense mood when you're hearing something like
Right.
that. So yeah, but
I had a funny comment coming through here. Can you play these notes for us? And there's just a couple music notes. Here you go.
yeah, hey, can you, play that song that one like da 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 da.
Yeah. You know that song? Da, da, da,
Yeah,
da,
can you
da.
do that? Yeah, that one.
Oh my gosh. I know exactly who that's written by. It's written by John what's his nuts.
Yes, and he wrote it on the toilet in B minor. Yeah.
It is written in the 18 some shit. I don't freaking know. You know.
Yes. You play it on an instrument that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. But
Uh,
anyways, yeah, no, I how long did it take to actually be able to actually compose your own music and stuff? Like how long? Like how far into this
just
was
did
like?
it. I wrote an opera when I was age 14. Um, and so that was my only actually recognized thing. My opera was on the classical radio station here in Chicago, 98.7. Um, but that was really the only thing that was under recognition of sorts. Um, but really, writing music is not that hard. When it for me, it just comes when it comes. If I try to force myself to write something, it's gonna sound like shit. But if it's something that just comes from, stems from something and it just flows, then it's usually good. Uh, the one, my my favorite thing I've written is the least well respected thing I've ever had published, which is crazy. So I seldom play it because for some reason people on media just don't care for it. Um, that's a whole entire history. It's a song I wrote. It was around Christmas time. It's called Christmas Is Past. Um, I had written that song, and then it was during some times of tribulation and all of that. But then just a few weeks after that, that was the first time my grandmother had heard it when I had actually recorded it with a singer. She was doing the singing, and My grandmother had heard it, and unfortunately, she took her own life a few weeks later. And the title of the song is "Christmas Has Passed," and it really is. It's probably the most emotional song for me that I've written. So it's always kind of like a surprise when people are like, when they listen to it and there's like no reaction. I'm like, I would never want to force people to say, "Oh, that's good," when it is a dud.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like just sometimes that things we do are actually not that great, but to us it feels better than it is. Maybe I don't know.
Well, don't sell that short though, because there's there's art for for others' consumption, and there's art that just its purpose is to be and its significance is to the creator.
Right,
It doesn't have to be like something that everybody loves. It
right,
just has to be something that you love on those. So, and that's if
yeah,
it's of great personal significance, that's what matters on that one.
right, yeah.
So, but and yeah, everyone, people here are asking asking about singing and stuff too. So I take it that you do
Singing?
that. So they say that you're really good at it, is what they say.
I sing. Bye, Troy. Have a good evening. Yeah, I went to school I did opera training. Um, see, I have people on my end asking me to sing too. Do you want me to sing something?
Yeah.
What would you like? Oh, I just slipped. I'm wearing heels and I done slipped.
Well,
What would you
yeah. Don't.
like me to sing?
I don't know. I don't know that. Does anyone have any requests, y'all? Because I don't know the names of any good opera songs. I don't.
Oh, I don't just do opera. I do everything all over the board. So we don't have to do opera.
Well,
Um,
then do something from the heart is a request. Just anything
say
that's
what?
just something from your heart. That's,
Um, we're gonna actually do a hymn because my heart's always with the hymns and religious songs. So would that be okay for you?
yeah, that's fine.
Um, all right. So we're gonna do. Where'd it go? We're gonna do "Here I Am, Lord." Um, I don't know how this will work because my iPad is broken in 5,000 places. 525,600 places. It is broken in every place. All right. By the Lord of sea and sky, I have heard my people cry, all who dwell in dark and sin. My hand will save. I who made the stars of night, I will make the darkness bright. Who will bear my light to them? Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. I, the Lord of snow and rain, I have borne my people's pain. I have wept for love of them. They turn away. I will break their hearts of stone, give them hearts for love alone. I will speak my word to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. I, the Lord of wind and flame, I will tend the poor and lame. I will set a feast for them. Whom shall I send? Finest bread I will provide, till their hearts be satisfied. I will give my life to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. I will hold your people in my heart. That's one of my favorites. I mean, I love hymns in general.
Fancy.
Thank you, thank you. I didn't
That
know
was,
I was going to be singing tonight, so I tried.
thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Of course,
That,
sure.
that was beautiful.
Thank you so much. And thank you, all of my followers, with your kind comments. Thank you so much.
Wow, nothing. I just it's like just some of the comment. You've got a lot of fans over here, by the way.
Ah, shucks. There's so many comments on here. They really, really like you. It's so wonderful. In fact, I'm having comments of people who watch us both. It's fantastic. It's so cool. Who've seen
Awesome.
us
Yeah,
both
I've
before.
got
I think
some.
that's fabulous.
Yeah, I've got even some of my mods actually. I think some of my mods, one or two might actually also be mods for you from time to time. So,
I love it. I absolutely love it.
but yeah, that's and there's other people who say that we need to, do other, for lives together in the future, which I do agree. This has been
Oh,
so far a really good live, and I'm
for
really.
sure. For sure. Well, I think we'd have a good time.
Most
I think the viewers love this. On my end here, there's so much with the commentaries from people. They just love the switch up of being live with somebody else. It's in I mean, I seldom do live streaming with other people, and I tell you, it's just it's an honor to do it with you.
well,
It's fantastic.
well, thanks
So,
for accepting my invite. To be honest,
oh, absolutely.
so I know. Um, I it's I really appreciate it. This was I love being able to bring beauty to people, and this would definitely fit that bill.
It's a great mix up. There's just such a it's a trove of things that we have together with these live videos. I think it would be great.
And to be honest, it is so nice to have a change of pace too. Because you know what? I get sick of, you say, I know you said, yeah, that you don't like watching the news. You know what? I get, I have to read the news endlessly to do this. So, like,
Yeah.
I usually scan on any given day probably about 1,000 news articles on various sources. Just that's how
Wow.
I that's how I find everything before everyone
Yeah.
else does. So I just know how to scan really fast. But still, sometimes you get tired of that, and you just want to, like this has been so nice to just talk about.
It's a change of
You know,
pace.
people and music and beautiful things because it just yeah you get and it's nice to not have I don't know some a lot of the news in the medical and trans areas have been really grim lately and
Right.
well it's just it's nice to metaphorically see the sun and the grass and the trees for once instead of the
Right.
alleys.
I think what would also be really, really great for my viewers when we do a live stream again is for you to talk about more regarding your line of profession, because I don't know a lot about how to talk about medical related things and all of that stuff. And I think my viewers, in fact, I'm sure a bunch of them are like following you right now, and pressing follow. um but it would just be so good for to have somebody with your intellect and your experience and credentials to share so much more and shed light on trans topics and stuff. And because I'm sure your eloquency with speaking about it is far surpassing mine.
Well, that just came through practice, though. You should have heard a year and a half ago when I was just starting. Because see, I'm pretty newly out. I've only been out for like since October 15th of 2020. Thank you, Tiff, for the butterflies. Um, and sorry, I sometimes when the gifts happen, I like to say thanks and stuff. And
Yeah.
plus, it's pretty. Um, but I've only been out for a little over a year and a half. So I mean,
Mhm.
really, I was kind of I wasn't as good at it a year ago as I am now. So I've had a lot of
Right.
practice now, and I don't have the quite as many stumbles like I used to. So I can explain things better and more
Right.
clearly and quickly than I was.
Right.
So, but yeah, if you want to do one day to do that, I'm totally down. So,
I think that'd be fantastic. I I'm actually I think that this time is a really good time for live streaming.
yeah, there's a lot
This
of people on right now, but it also starting at 7. It's a little earlier than the big crush of people because they usually start an hour
Right.
later.
Right.
And well, it's also that means that also that the trolls get less as your live goes on too, because there's a million lives going on by the
Right.
second.
Well,
Uh,
and then they get bored, and then they move on because they see we're not responding. you know.
yeah, and they do get bored, and also, well, I actually I don't think trolls ever get bored in my room because my mods boot them before we have a line, or the saying is that you get one line, make it count, because the thing
Yeah,
is people
we're
that
we're
they'll come
maxed out on mods
they'll,
here.
they'll come in and they'll blurt that their one stupid line, like
Yep.
you know um oh wow, it's a man. So never
Yeah.
fucking heard that before,
Yeah, the one I always
Um,
get that I always think is just like you couldn't even try harder, as they say. Oh, is this White Chicks the musical? I'm like, I do. Can you do you have? I mean, some people just have like this. They don't even try. I mean, it's not even worth like. You know what I mean? It's like at
It's
least try to
not.
come up with something original.
And the
And
funny
when
part is
people
I've
do
got
those,
most of their, we've got, we've set up the keyword filter on my side. So a lot of, I bet you there's
oh,
some of these are just like sitting there trying to type their insults and whatever, and they
yep,
finally can't find
us
anything.
here
So they
too.
go,
That's
oh,
how
it's a
we have it. We
man.
have a whole.
It's like,
Yep, that's it. We have the entire keyword things of where it blocks out certain keywords,
mhm.
and then these people think that their messages are going through. Oh, I love it.
So it just, I don't know. I just picture them getting frustrated and chewing on the keyboard and stuff. And I don't know,
Right.
whatever trolls do.
Yeah.
But then it's just, it's fun to mess. I don't know. I just like that. That mental image is funny to
Right.
me. So, but yeah,
Right.
if you want to maybe, if you want to do one, uh, where I get, where I can answer questions and stuff, for
I
your
think a
audience,
Q
I'd
and
be happy
A.
to do that. I
I
mean,
think a Q and A would be fantastic. Uh, you know, I would be able to answer some stuff, but I think a Q and A would be outstanding for us to have sometime.
well, yeah. So, why don't we, shoot, we'll shoot for a time, say, I don't know, I guess, maybe like in, in a month, in like maybe this time next month, or something like that.
Right.
And we'll do a dedicated one where where that one will be, we'll call it medicine and music, or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, that'd be good. I think that works real good. Yeah.
So, yeah. And,
Yeah.
we can even make an event out of it too, and start
For sure.
advertising it a bit in advance, so that it's
Yes,
kind
and
of like
everybody
an
who's
actual
saying
event.
on my page here, would you know? Yes, you all will. You all would know when that is. We'd have stuff in advance, so you know what time and what day and all that. All that goes on. Um, is this a new page? No, I changed my username. My username is what the hell is my username? Miss Leanne
This
Nicole, I think. People just they thought it was odd when it was Chicago Pianos, but I just changed the name. It's the same page. Nothing's changed except for the name. This old broad is still here. Still here. Still running the stream or the tic tac as I call it.
Yeah, I don't. I'm scared of actually changing my username. So, even though
Yeah.
everyone knows me as Dr. Tiffany, it's still Tiftastic75, and
Right.
because I have like five backup accounts
Mm-hmm.
because I really did get banned. I really do get
Oh
banned
yeah.
a lot.
I have
So,
I have three backup accounts, so
and
you gotta.
some of them have like most of them have like between 5 and 8,000 followers. So I mean they're not small accounts in and of
Right.
themselves. And people keep confusing one because it's the real Dr. Tiffany as my primary one, and I don't know that it. I feel a little bad because I keep like direct messaging like my backup account, which I check probably about once every 2 weeks, and but
Right.
I'm scared to actually change my main one because well then people will think I got booted or something.
Right.
So yeah, BRCC78. If you ever are sick, you can come see me anytime. I got your back. Okay. So, but sorry, as sometimes I if somebody is in my area and asks a question, I try to tell I
Oh,
do
for
want them to
sure.
know that I see them too and help them. So, because
Absolutely.
that's how actually I originally started the TikTok was because it was free and I had a startup
Right.
thing. I have a startup business. So and y'all who are asking where I'm from, I am in Shreveport, Louisiana.
And I'm in
But
Chicago area.
yeah, and the if anyone who knew your account by the old name Chicago Pianos, probably may
Minor
just
details. Chicago Pianos. Yes, I'm in Los Angeles, by the way.
it's just a clever name. But yes,
Yes.
by the way, if there is anyone on this side that isn't following her, obviously you've heard what she can do. So definitely follow her. So, because
Yeah, and everybody who's watching on our end here who've not seen Dr. Tiffany, or if you have before, give her a follow also. And you'll also see probably in the next coming month or so, we'll do a live stream with, you know, the more Q&A, like you said, medical and music. I think
yeah,
that's a really great topic. And combining the both would be a real, I think it would be a done right proper, real good.
yeah, I think, and I like it. It's kind of a change to our standard. There's a lot of science creators that do lives, but
Yeah.
none like mine here.
Well,
So I
I think it would be a great change on our end here too, because we do mostly music and hymns and all that stuff, and um, adding in more Q&A, and more in regards to social topics and everything in regards to the health, and the medical. I think it would just really, it would be such a great melting pot for another live stream.
yeah. Hey, in the audience, Sleepy Bunny, DM me. I followed you back, so DM me and I can answer your question. Okay. Same with anyone else that is, PJ and BRC. I've sent you follow requests too. So if you have something you want to talk to me about, okay. So, but yeah, we definitely should that. I have people begging for one last piano piece, by the way,
A piano song
or
of what?
or or singing, or either, whichever you would like to do.
Well,
You know,
we'll play a piano song. We'll do gosh, what are we gonna do? Do they want something relaxing or something more? I don't
relax.
know. Relaxing?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. What are we gonna do? It's a nice little medley. For the beauty of the earth, come thou fount of every blessing, and how great thou art.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow, no, that was really awesome.
Thank you
That's
so much. It's been such a change of pace to do a live video with somebody, and it's such a great avenue to do it with you. And I so appreciate having the message the other day. I think it's just been such a really cool change of pace here.
yeah. No, I'm glad that I'm glad that got a hold of you because yeah, that just this was a. I'm really glad that we did this. This was a really nice change of pace.
I fully agree.
It was definitely kind of needed something like this personally too. I'm
Just to change it up.
a little burnt out on Sirius right now.
I
So
I know it's great to see. It's I don't really see people when I'm doing my live streams because I see like their little profile pictures and their comments, but it's wonderful to have that interaction.
yeah,
So
and it's it actually it's kind of addicting. Actually, I do a lot of. I mean, I still do a lot of shows also where I don't have guests or co-hosts or anything, and you know, and I probably my next one I'm going to have to do a no other people because otherwise I think people are just gonna
right.
stop listening to me because I don't answer any. I haven't answered much questions, and I probably you know, but and I'm not gonna hang around after the live tonight to do it because I'm
Well,
actually
me either.
kind of wore out too.
It's been a
So
long day. I tell you, long day here. Gonna be taking a rest. But yeah, there's so many people. I was looking at the comments here. A lot of people really enjoyed the way this live stream was. A lot. This is a really good idea.
yeah, and honestly, the view, the number of people watching on this side, actually, it's actually above what significant. It's been significantly above what, especially in the second half of what it normally is during co-host live. So,
Okay.
not just the positive comments, but people are sticking around and actually listening. So, and
Right.
which is really awesome. So,
Yeah.
but but yeah, it's we do need to do this again.
Completely agree. Thank you all for your kind comments. There's so many nice comments here.
So, but probably I'm gonna have to. I'm probably gonna have to shut this down pretty soon though because
Yeah,
I am getting tired.
me too. Believe
The
me.
problem is the relaxing actually got me to relax, and I realized that I'm tired as hell, and so
Yeah.
so but and you know I do have to. Yeah, I just got real tired in the last
I
10
know.
5 minutes. So
Me
sorry.
too. It's been such a long day. I tell you, I could probably fall asleep right proper. But
But
we'll definitely do this again.
yeah,
It's been
I really
very
appreciate you coming on.
productive.
This was
It's
really
been
wonderful live. Okay, this was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that we got it. I'm so glad we got a chance to do this. And yeah, let's do this in in a few weeks. Let's revisit this, and I'll you know and we'll let's have an encore.
yeah. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm actually giving your your head moderator, who actually sent the message and the request there, just
Yeah,
gave them a follow. So,
yeah,
but
but
thank you so much for the time and
it was,
for your time
wonderful.
and sharing
But
yourself and
you know that.
um, the invitation. It's been fantastic, and it's gone over so well with my viewers for sure.
Yeah, and same here for sure. So, but so yeah, but I'm gonna call it quits for the night. It was
All right.
wonderful, and thank you so much once again. And yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you also. And you have a great evening. Thank you, everybody, here on our end for the incredible moderating. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for staying and sharing and enjoying. And thank you, Dr. Tiffany, for your time. It has been a pleasure, and we will do this again.
Definitely,
All
definitely.
right.
Have a good night. Okay.
You as well.
Bye.
Everybody watching, thank you so much for joining. You all take care. Have a great evening, and God
Oh,
bless you all. Thank you.
and love you and stay safe.
Be well.